So when you cut, my good friend, so hopefully you gotta be in the middle. You wanna make sure you put lube on here, especially on the longitudinal fissure right here, because it's gonna go right in there. Okay, so and then we're gonna make sure you're right in the middle. So you wanna make sure your brain is nice and vertical, and your knife, like I said, you're putting a gentle downward pressure, and you put your knife to the front, and then you're pulling back like this, cutting like that. None of this ziggy-zaggy thingy like that, okay? Because then it's gonna ruin the structures inside, okay? All right, my good friends, and so forth and so forth. So I take my div. This looks like it's a really nice loop right here because it's okay. This one is gonna be hard to dispense, you know what I'm saying? Whereas this one, got this little suction pipette and so forth. So I'm gonna loop it over here like this, especially right in the crack right here. This thing is not really suctioning like I would love it to. Ooh, this one is really like nice and gel-like. So I kind of loop it there. And then another thing I want to do is I want to loop my knife. Be careful not to cut yourself, my good friends, and so forth. You know what I mean? I hope I'll be in the middle, nice and in the middle. Oh, crappity crap. So here's the deal. Ding, 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 ding. Is there a trash over here so I can put this? Alrighty. So this is the deal. You make sure you're not cutting yourself, right? So you see how the knife is kind of down here, and I'm kind of like this. So hopefully my brain is nice and you see what I'm saying? Isn't that cool? Yeah, I'm kind of not so bad. I'm in the center because my brain was nice and vertical, and I just went cutting ding 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 like that. Look at that nice arbor vitae arrangement of the cerebellum. Isn't that looking cool? It's looking really neat. I love this because sometimes most of these brains they get ruined and so forth and whatnot. Okay, ding 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 ding. Ooh, this knife is sharp. You don't want to mess with these kinds of knives. Okay, my good friends. Woo! Isn't that kitty kitty kitty? Oh my god, this is beautiful. I get excited when things work out. Okay, so this is the optic chiasm, correct? Yes? What is this structure here, this white structure here? No, 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 no. No, it's not here. What is it? You tell me. Corpus callosum, correct. You can cheat with the board, okay, guys? You can feel free, please, to cheat with the board. That's why I put it there. I drew it for you first so you could use it because right now we're learning these things. And the more you participate, the more you get it wrong and right and stuff like that. And then it will make your easier job at home to study. You know what I'm saying? So apply yourself. What about the one on the bottom here? The phonics. 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 Okay. Now, do you see the third ventricle here? I mean, the lateral ventricle. You see? So here, this is where I say the choroid plexus will be located, but we didn't see any right now in here. So if I put a pin over here and I'm like, what is that chamber of the brain? You'd say, la. What would you say? It's on the board. If I put a pin here and I'm like, what's that chamber of the brain? What would you say? Lateral ventricle. Yes, thank you so much, my good friend. There you go. Perez. But Elizabeth. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let me see if I could see the anterior commissure, because sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. Okay. And this is so white a brain, so I'm kind of failing. This is a little too close to be the anterior commissure, but it will be somewhere around here. So anyway, that's okay. And this circular structure here, what is this? No, 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 no. Do you see where I'm pointing? Right here, just below the phonics. This circular structure, you can't miss it a mile away. This circular structure here. Yeah, the thalamus. The thalamus. The thalamus. Isn't it nice like a circle over there? Do you see it? Yeah. The thalamus. This is the thalamus. You get it? And then if I say, you see this ventricle here? If I say, what is that chamber of the brain? This one, in front of the thalamus. What's that? Third ventricle. Okay? You see this sort of smooth space here? This, and then what's that structure here? No, 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 no. Look at this structure here. I'm already done with the thalamus. No, 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 no. Looky here where I am. Ah, no, no, no. Looky here. This is the smooth part, which means fluid is going through here. Cerebral aqueduct. Okay, do you see, my good friends? And now this, you can chime in, my good friend. What is this? No, 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 no. Looky here. You said it first. Remember, you said inferior colliculus. The one that I say you can also call corpora quadrigemina. Do you see, my good friends? This is the corpora quadrigemina, or you can more accurately call it the inferior colliculus. Okay, inferior colliculus. And then on top here would be the, if this is the inferior colliculus, yeah, superior colliculus. And I told you it's kind of pinkish in color. This one is really white because this brain is really white, okay? So this is the superior colliculus. So the reason why we are calling this inferior colliculus the corpora quadrigemina, I'm allowing that, is because there are two superior colliculi, these ones, two of these, and then there's two of these inferior colliculi, this little squiggle, white squiggle here, which make four bodies: corpora, body, quadrigemina, four bodies, okay? But I'm saying you could call this corpora quadrigemina, this squiggle, white squiggle on the bottom, just on top of the cerebral aqueduct, correct? And you can call this the corpora quadrigemina. More correctly, you can call it inferior colliculus. But this, you have to call it the superior colliculus, correct? All right? And then this cone-shaped organ here, what is this? Part of the brain, nucleus. What is this? The pineal gland or pineal body. Okay? What about this vertical line, this white vertical line that's going down like this? What's that? Starts with a P. Posterior commissure. You see, just like I drew it on the board. Isn't my diagram very accurate? Don't you just love it? So use it, okay? Please. Okay, so this is the posterior commissure. And then the posterior commissure comes in squiggles here as the corpora quadrigemina or inferior colliculus. Okay? And then the inferior colliculus is right on top of the cerebral aqueduct, which joins this third ventricle to this is now the fourth ventricle underneath the cerebellum, between the cerebellum and the medulla. Okay? Do you see the pons? You see these pons? There's the pons. Isn't that cool? Then there's the cerebral peduncle right there, joining these parts of the cerebellum to the upper parts of the brain, the cerebrum. Okay, so there's the mammillary body right there, and there's the pineal, the pituitary. There's the diaphragm ocelli. For the first time we've seen it. You see, the diaphragm ocelli is that cranial neuroceptor that separates, like the hypothalamus over here. This is the thalamus. This is the hypothalamus. And you can see the mammillary body. Do you see the mammillary body? Or is it just me? Do you see it right there? The mammillary body is part of the hypothalamus. Okay? And here is the optic chiasm. And so this part here is what we're calling the supraoptic nucleus of the hypothalamus. Because anything underneath this circle, this thalamus is the hypothalamus, right? If I point here, hypothalamus, hypothalamus, oh, this one is specifically a part of the hypothalamus called the mammillary body. Okay? And then if I point to this part here where you have the lateral ventricle, and I'm like, what is that structure that separates the chambers of the brain? Then you would say, what? It's on the board. If I say, what's the structure that separates the chambers of the brain? Then you'd say, septum pellucidum. Yeah, you can shout it out. Is it good? Thank you, Maria. Septum pellucidum, correct? Yes, yes. So this is it. Did you check the structure on the brain, the list? Did I go through everything? Did I forget something? I think I got everything, right? And you can see the apovitae arrangement of the cerebellum. Isn't that cool? There's the fourth ventricle between the cerebellum and the medulla. So this is the medulla, and the medulla finishes here, and then it, it tapers like that into the spinal cord. So this is the spinal cord, and this is the medulla oblongata, all this, and there's the pons, and then the midbrain would be these two superior colliculus over here, the two inferior colliculus over inferior colliculi, which we're saying we can call also the corporal quadrigemina, okay? And it's all labeled in your diagram, and I tried to put it up there, okay? So I think for the internal structures, we can now stop the video, my good friend. So that's it.